Hi everyone. In this video we're going to talk to you about how to obtain your driver's license in Brazil. As somebody who has just obtained their permanent residency, like myself, it involves some documents that you need to prepare before you can apply. In English it's called, of course, driver's license, but in Portuguese they call it CNH. It's CNH, it's Carteira Nacional de Habilitação. So if you're not used to it and you hear CNH, it's CNH, and it's equivalent of driver's license in English. And Mariana is going to talk to you about the documents that you need to have before you can apply, and then we continue with the whole process and how it goes.
So, for foreigners who want to apply for the CNH, for the driver's license in Brazil, they need to go to a Detran office. You cannot go to a VaptVupt office, which works only for Brazilians. So initially you have to go to a Detran office. So you don't need an appointment to go there, but you have to have all the documents with you. So in our case, we took original and copies of the documents, and these were the following documents. You can find these documents in the Detran website, and even if you call them, they can also give you the list of documents for foreigners. And then you can just follow exactly what they are asking for, and it's gonna be it's exactly what they're gonna ask for it also during the time that you go for the appointment, which doesn't need to make an appointment. You can just go one day with all the documents. So initially you're gonna have to have your driver's license, valid driver's license from the country where you're coming from. So you have to have this driver's license and translation of it, so a certified translation. We chose to do the certified translation by a certified translator in the state where we are living. So I think it's good to try to avoid translating these documents with translators from another country. Another thing that you're gonna have to present is your driving record from the country you come from. So in our case, we had to request the driving record for Bahia from Canada. We did that online, but then they have to send it after that. Our relatives, they send to us by mail. So do that also as soon as you can, because it takes time for you to obtain the driving record and then be sent to you by mail, and then you receive actually the original one. And then you also will need the certified translation of this document. We also took with us the permanent residency card, and a copy of it, the CPF number, his CPF number, proof of address, so they want to make sure that you are living in the state where you are applying for the driver's license, police certificate from Polícia Federal, from the Tribunal de Justiça from the state where you are living, and Tribunal Regional Federal. So you need to present 3 different police certificates. You can get all of that online if you have a CPF number. In our case also, Bahi presented to a copy of his Canadian passport, gave it to them also as proof of ID from the country that you're coming from.
One thing that is very important also, when the first time that Mariana called them, we also inquired about the fact that if there is a language proficiency test or anything for the test or for the whole process to obtain your driver's license here in Brazil. There is no language test, but they did mention to Mariana that the person who is applying to get the Brazilian driver's license should be able to communicate and understand basically what we are going to ask for. So when you go there, just to take a number and wait for your appointment, no, it's fine. But then to go to the counter and talk to the person responsible who will open your file, you have to be able to have some basic knowledge of Portuguese and speak to them in Portuguese. And then when you go there, they ask for all the documents that Mariana just mentioned that you have to have with you. And in our case, when we went there, there was even a sign at the door, because it was a big room with many counters and different stations. And it was even, there was a note that you cannot have somebody accompanying you. So I went alone, and he asked for the documents, and I gave him all the documents. He went through them, he scanned them, then he wanted one more document that I thought it's not actually necessary. It was with Mariana, and then she could even come and give him the document and complete the whole process. But mostly, I think you have to be ready to be there alone and talk to them and communicate with them. What they do is they take all of your documents, they scan them, and they open a file for you. And at this point, they tell you that it will take 10 days for them to verify the documents and finalize the process. Once it is ready and it's approved, you will be notified. And I think we didn't wait for 10 days.
I called on the 8th day. I called them, and then the person on the phone told me that it was approved, and then that I could go online at the trans website and then make an appointment. Now we have to make an appointment.
Once you do the appointment, you go there. And I was lucky because I went to the same person that had already served me, so he knew the whole process and the whole documents. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I just had to sign a document to say yes, everything was fine, and I was there, and the file was approved. After that, you go to another station where they take your picture and also your fingerprints. Once you finish this process, then they give you a document that basically is explaining the next steps that you have to follow. So you take the picture, then after that you have to go and pay the administration fees at Detran, which was for us 313 reais and 86 cents. This one, I believe we had to pay cash.
Yes.
So
Bring
you
cash.
might be able to, you might think you can pay with credit card or Pix, but it's better to have cash with you just to be on the safe side. After we paid the fees, the next step was the medical test. Medical test, which is mostly, I think, the eye exam, and they asked some other questions. That exam was 90 reais, and from the Detran they give you the address of a clinic that you have to go to. In our case, it was actually very close by, so we just walked there, we went there, and we paid. At the clinic, if I'm not mistaken, we were able to pay with Pix.
Yes.
So paid with Pix. The doctor was very sweet. He was like very nice. At some point, because for the eye exam you have to read the letters on the wall, and then there's the colors that are basically the same colors of the traffic light. And then at some point my brain just had like a moment of delay, and I couldn't remember the color red in Portuguese, and I said it in English. I said, yeah, it's okay, don't worry, because also you're not there at this point to show your Portuguese. The doctor is there just to do the test for your medical test. But he was very sweet, very understanding, and very patient. After the eye exam, there is other exams that they give you. Basically, like there's like a device that you have to press with both one hand at a time, and just I think to see if you have the power and you have the coordination. If you're driving and you have to hold the steering wheel, you have the power to do that. And that was basically it for the medical test. It wasn't anything complicated, and we went on the same day. For us, at least, on that clinic, we didn't have to make any appointments. After that, we went to the address that they gave us for the next exam. The next exam is something that for foreigners that come to Brazil, this is a little bit strange. They call it a psicotécnico test, which is basically, it's not like a psychological test, but they want to test your ability, your, I believe, cognitive ability, your patience, the intelligence. So there are different sections of the exam. For the exam, we had to make an appointment, and this exam is 100 reais. And again, I believe I could pay cash, but when I was there were people also paying with Pix. So there you have the option to pay either with Pix or cash. One thing that was very important and helped me a lot was some videos that I watched on YouTube for this exam. Basically, when you watch those videos before your exam, almost 90% of your exam is the same. There are some parts that are different, but it really prepares you for the test. And if you have never done it before, then after watching those videos, you have a much better understanding of what to expect. Because for us as foreigners that we come here and we have never done this sort of test for driver's license, we really don't know what to expect. So make sure you watch some YouTube videos for that test. Because at the time my Portuguese was not perfect, there was one section of the test that we had to write some words. This is basically for your visual memory. You look at an image for like 30 seconds or 1 minute, and then they remove the image. You have to write as many images as you remember. This part I didn't pass, so I had to repeat. And the good thing is, when you don't pass one section of the exam, next time you will only repeat that section that you did not pass. So you don't need to repeat the whole exam because the exam is long. The exam is 3 hours. So make sure that you're ready to spend 3 hours there when you go for the exam. And also at that clinic, they specified that you cannot have somebody accompanying you. Space is limited, and the person that comes with you will have to wait like 3 hours. So my suggestion is just go alone. After that, I rescheduled for that section of the exam that I did not pass. It was, I think, 3 days later or 4 days later that I went. That one took only like 10-15 minutes to finish. And after that, they told me the driver's license itself would be ready in 3 days. But we were lucky and we checked online, and after 2 days, it was ready. Another very nice thing about the system here in Brazil that I really like is the fact that you can follow your process, your application process for driver's license online. Basically, when you go the first time, they give you a protocol number, and then when you go to the Detran website with the protocol number and your CPF number, you can follow the steps. That's how I knew that, okay, now they have all of the results from my psicotécnico test, and now my driver's license is ready. And when it's ready, you just go there to pick it up. And it was smooth. Of course, there's the exam, there's the payment. It took a while because we had to make an appointment, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
No, not at all. In the end, you got your driver's license,
Oh, yeah.
and you can have it on your phone.
Another thing that is very interesting is the driver's license that they give you in Brazil. It has a QR code in the back, and also there is an app that you can download on your cell phone. It's called, I believe, Carteira Digital. So digital card that you have, a digital copy of your driver's license actually. Through that app, you enter the app, you enter your information, your CPF number, and then you scan through the app the QR code that is in the back of your driver's license. And with that, it generates a digital copy of your driver's license that you can always have with you which is very handy. And the app itself, I find it very useful. Like, you have all the information there. I didn't get any tickets yet here, but there's a section even for infractions, and it says that if you pay through the app, you can get up to 40% of discount. So that app also, I think it's useful for you to download it and have a look at it. Another benefit of having a driver's license from, let's say, Canada or the US is that while you're doing the exam, you can still drive. Like, I had my Canadian driver's license and I was driving, but if you're planning to stay here in Brazil, it's better to get your Brazilian driver's license. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. We are going to answer any questions that you might have. Please don't forget to write it in the comment section. If you have any questions, any other doubts that you have, or any more information you want to know, I'm sure Mariana will be more knowledgeable than me to answer those. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to drop us a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Bye.
Bye.